I just had it was like one day, like I woke up and I was just like, I don't have any friends. I want to play video games online. Because, okay, so I started like my Microsoft career in Vegas.
Okay.
And all I knew is that like
Bem-vindos ao Chips Podcast. Eu sou o Rodrigo Chips e se você já se perguntou quem é a pessoa que toma conta do negócio de Xbox, não só no Brasil, mas em toda a América Latina, eu tenho a resposta para vocês aqui. Esse episódio, especificamente, é um episódio todo em inglês que vai ser legendado. Então, se vocês sabem inglês, fiquem à vontade. Se vocês não sabem, é sempre bom dar uma estudada que inglês é fundamental no mercado de jogos. Então, graças a isso, eu vou começar de novo. E agora vou apresentar a nossa convidada. So, welcome to Chips Podcast. I'm Rodrigo Chips, your host, and today I have the one and only, the woman behind Xbox, the business side of Latin America, Gricelda Hernandes. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And it's so good to finally be able to talk to you about your life, everything that you've done to get here. I know that you're really, really young, but already very successful in your career. And obviously, the main thing is, I've heard that you are a no sabo. You're telling me this before the recording. And tell everyone what this means.
It means that though I am like, my family's from El Salvador, I cannot speak that much Spanish. I can get by.
Ish.
But I would definitely say I need to brush up a lot more on my Spanish.
I totally get it, and I totally understand. So, how was for you? Understanding, you said that you started knowing Spanish, and then suddenly you had to switch to English.
Yeah, I did. My grandma had a really big hand in raising me, and she was just like, oh, we're going to teach her Spanish first. So I was really fluent in Spanish. It was my core language when I was younger. And then once I started going to English schools, I had to switch over and learn English. And then, of course, I lost a lot of my Spanish in the process.
Really?
When you have everyone around you only like speaking one language and you stop utilizing the other part, you start to like forget things.
But you tell me, did you lost everything?
No, I still know like quite a bit of Spanish. I think I started to get lost on like the random words that I never use. Like if someone was like, how do you say blender in Spanish? I'd be like, I don't know.
I have no idea. Never blended anything.
Blendo. I don't know. But conversationally, like when I speak to my grandma, I still try to speak to her in Spanish. But ever since I moved away from Vegas, I don't get to utilize my Spanish as much. The cities that I've moved to, they don't have a really big Spanish population. And so it leaves me without anyone to really speak Spanish to.
That's nice. That's nice. And did you study Spanish after? No.
So I did in college. I did take Spanish 1 and 2 because I wanted the easy A. And then I learned very quickly that even though like I can read Spanish, I can write Spanish, I don't know where to put those accents. And I would destroy my papers. One accent can absolutely change the meaning of a word. Yeah. And I made that mistake so many times. And my teacher was like, Gricelda, please.
Just go to somewhere else.
Figure out where to put the dash. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And you, how was at the end of the day, did you get the double A's? I did. I actually, I've gone to college a couple of times. I just didn't finish. I only graduated from college last year.
I see.
And I graduated summa cum laude. So I finished with a 3.94 GPA.
Wow.
So I finished with a lot of A's. I was super determined. Yeah. I just wanted to like prove to myself that I needed it, or like that I could do it.
Yeah.
Because my job didn't really require me to have a 3.94 GPA.
Yes. Yes, I totally understand.
They were like, "Did you graduate?" Okay, good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's funny. Why did I ask that? It's just because pretty much my main concern, I would say, and what I wonder is how different is to understand things and think about things when you start as a Spanish speaker and then you go, because I had to learn English before I was 15, 16, pretty much an adult. That's why I have this horrible accent.
It's not.
But that's the main reason. And for you, probably everything was completely different. You pretty much speak English since you were born, and you never think about it. Spanish. You never consider things in Spanish.
It's, I would say like yes and no, right? Because I did learn like Spanish first. I still think about a lot of like things in Spanish, and there are certain words that I just don't say in English at all or have no idea how to say. There was one time I went to Target, I was looking for medias. And I'm sitting there like, I don't know where they are. So I'm asking the lady like, hey, where are the medias? And she's like, the what? And I was like, the medias. And she was like, what is a media? And I was like, the things you put on your legs, they're sheer. And she was like, pantyhose? And I was like, oh, that's the word? Like,
pantyhose?
So there are some words like gareta or like chanclas, or there are just certain words that I will gravitate towards like more in Spanish than I do in English. And there are some instances of where I'll think about things kind of in Spanish first. And even though I may not be like as fluent as I was when I was a kid, I think that it's really important to know more than one language in general.
Yes.
But I think it's really important for me to continue to like learn Spanish and really understand like history and cultures of like where we come from, because those are the things that we end up carrying out. Like a lot of times when we talk about like Latin American countries, and sometimes when you have to like leave really quick, like my grandmother did when she was 9 in El Salvador, we don't get the opportunity to take things with us, you know?
True.
We only have the backpack of stuff, and then we have to like get on a plane and go, or get on a train and go. So through language, we're able to preserve our history and our culture and the significance of importance of the things that like my grandmother went through, our ancestors went through.
What happened there, if you wouldn't mind talk about this?
El Salvador when she was 9. El Salvador has had a hard history. There was a war going on for a really long time. It just wasn't safe for her. So my great grandma sent her to Las Vegas with some nuns, and then my grandma stayed. She's gone back now, like a lot of times to like visit the family that we have left in El Salvador, but a lot of my family is actually in the United States.
Good to know that she's still alive and well. And
I have a really young family though. My grandma is 75.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
74, 75 years old.
Yeah, so, it's a really young family. That's very impressive. And so you were born in Vegas?
Born and raised in Las Vegas, yes.
Wow.
I left in 2017.
Who lost the bet?
Nobody.
Nobody.
No, I left because I wanted to advance my career. I knew what I wanted, and it was super hard to leave my family because both my mother's side of the family and my father's side of the family, they're all in Vegas. So everything I know is in Las Vegas. So leaving it and going out like on my own, I cried so many times.
Yeah, I totally. It's hard. I understand you. I've lived here. I lived here in São Paulo for 10 years, and I was born and raised in Porto Alegre, which is south of Brazil.
Yeah.
So it was a hard time too, and I totally understand. That's why now that I'm older, much older, I get back to Porto Alegre, just to be nearby everybody.
Yeah, I try to go back to Vegas like often. I have 2 little sisters, Yuli and Hannah, and they are like my life. I love them so much. We have a 10 and 11 year gap, so they're little compared to, they're little to me. They're 23, 24, you know, like they're older now, but I go back like as like much as I can to like see them and see my grandma. And I have so many like little cousins now that are all like, oh, like we play video games too. We watch anime too. We're just like you. Like,
also you watch anime?
Yeah, I watch anime.
Really? Is there one that is your favorite one?
I have a comfort one. It might be a little bit like not popular for people. It's called Oron High School Host Club. It's definitely an anime of its time. It probably would not do well on air today.
Okay.
But it's just like this weird like comfort show that I tend to go back to.
Yeah.
It does tend to have its issues like a lot of old cartoons do. But anytime like I'm cleaning or I just need to run something in the background, I'll just throw that one on.
Yeah, that's a good one. And regarding video games, when you started playing video games and how did it happen?
I started playing really young. Before I even like had a console in the house, it would be like
define video. When you were which age were you?
I was. Let me think. I have to think back all the way to like my cousins. I have been playing for so long. I don't even know. It's definitely like younger than like 8. I had or like at least my friends or like my cousins had like the systems, so we would like go over and play. But even before that, we would go to I don't know if it's out here or if it was out here, but Pizza Hut used to have video games inside.
Really?
Or we would in Vegas. There were like Vegas has a lot of gambling. Yeah. Naturally, these gas stations also had like the slot machines and stuff. Sure. But sometimes they had the standing video games where you could play.
Yeah, we call it the arcades.
Yeah, they would have like Space Invaders or they would have Pac-Man. So like I would like play those whenever I could, but growing up, like the things that I really go back to and the things that like I really remember is like sitting on the floor in the living room with my cousins playing like Crash Bandicoot or like playing Mortal Kombat and seeing who could be the best. And those are the things that like I always kind of like cherish the most. And it's also a big thing that I have with my little sisters is that they would, I mean, granted, I'm a little bit older at this point. We're talking about like, I'm maybe like 14, 15. And I would come home and my sisters would be like, oh, can you play the scary game again? And they would jump into my bed and they would pull the blankets all the way up to their eyes, and it's BioShock. So it's like BioShock definitely has the element of fear. Yeah. So for them, they're like, play the scary game.
I was expecting like Silent Hill.
No, it's BioShock.
Yeah, BioShock, something like that.
So now, like my sisters and I, like that's our favorite game. Like we have matching splicer masks as like our sister tattoos. Yeah. But yeah, we continue to like go back to like the game like over and over and over. But I have been playing video games literally for as long as I can remember, and also trying to get my family to buy me these consoles was like one heck of a thing. Like I remember telling my grandpa like that when the first like Xbox came out, I was telling my grandpa I want it so bad. I saw it in newspapers. I was like cutting out pieces of paper and I was like hiding it around places to try to like psychologically get him to buy me this console.
You were doing some wizardry. Now I'm gonna make it happen.
Mm-hmm. One day I was like, he's just gonna wake up one day and think, Gricelda needs that Xbox, doesn't she?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I don't know where this came from. But that's something
it's gonna happen.
And it worked?
It did.
Aha! See? There's something there. So kids at home, you already know what to do. We probably gonna be around kids have like in October 12th, the Kids Day. You already know what to do.
Yeah. Just when you really want something, just cut out lots of pictures of it, put it everywhere, like places they wouldn't expect, like when they open up the medicine cabinet, like there's a picture.
Yeah.
Just
I believe that you don't have any child.
I don't have any kids.
I have a 8-year-old kid. I would be the happiest father of all time if he managed to do that. Because believe me, the hardest thing to do is to buy anything as a gift, not only on Christmas, but also for his birthday or this Kids Day. And kids usually are watching several different stuff, and sometimes you think that he likes something like one thing and he actually likes something else. So this way, you'd be like obvious, like, okay, I know that he wants this. And then this will work. So if I think I'm gonna dub this episode and I'm gonna like keep playing on TV. I'll just gonna cut this part. And then suddenly he'll have an idea like, that's a good idea. See, we're gonna do a short and you'll be like in loop through the house. Like, I used to do that. I used to cut the paper and do this kind of stuff. So thank you. That was the best tip of the day.
I don't have any kids. My girlfriend does have a 5-year-old though. And I'm always looking at her and I'm thinking like, right now he's obsessed with Sonic, right? And I'm just like, I wonder when like the interest is gonna like change. I try to like stay on my toes so I can figure out like when the shift happens, the next time I buy him a gift, it's not a Sonic thing, and he's like, ugh, I'm over Sonic. And I'm like, oh
no. But it will never go. It will happen when he become like a teenager or anything like that. But just so you know, for example, my son had his birthday party yesterday. Like, no, before yesterday. A Sonic party.
Oh, okay.
He was all dressed up as Sonic. He's 8. And 2 years ago, he had a party as a Sonic party dressed as Sonic, and he was 6.
You just got to like save the stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. It won't fit, but you can save the stuff. Because he got in between Ninjago, and then I thought, okay, Sonic is gone. Finally, I hate that hedgehog. So I'm happy that he will never get back. I'm good, and I'll never see that again. And suddenly, he's back. Because of the movies and all that.
He's not gonna go. I have a coworker, and he is obsessed with Sonic. It's not going to go away. It's not gonna, no! I'm sorry. No! We have somewhere on the on the Microsoft campus in Redmond, Washington. There's a giant Sonic statue somewhere in there. Sometimes you just wander the halls and you run into these huge statues out of nowhere. Somewhere in there, I think there's a Tails. I think. Really? Yeah. I feel like I ran into it. I took a picture, but it was like years ago. So he might still be around.
No, that's definitely a trip that I should do with him. Like here, I know a place that would be like super fun. To do. Awesome. And you were saying that you're playing BioShock and have a tattoo and all that. And how did it evolve? Which games you used to play after that? And did you had the situation that where everything went away and said, okay, video games is not for me?
Yeah, I never ran into that. There was a point of where like I kind of felt like embarrassed or like shame.
Yeah, see?
So it's like I still like played it, was into it, but I just didn't like talk about it as much. I think like being a girl in gaming is like tough. Being a woman in gaming is tough. And my sisters ran into it too when they were younger. When they were younger, they didn't want to be into superheroes anymore. They didn't want to be into video games anymore, any comics related stuff, because all the boys were making fun of them, saying that those are girl things, that they're boy things.
Boy thing, yeah.
And I remember after they told me that, I took them to a Comic Con in Vegas, which I think it was called like the Amazing Las Vegas Comic Con. And Stan Lee was there, and my sisters got to see Stan Lee, and they were like, we're gonna love this stuff forever. And I just like, for me, it's I want to make sure that my like sisters always have that, my younger cousins always have that, but in everything that like I do, I want to make sure that like women or like women presenting people, or you know, they always feel like welcomed like in the community, and like they do have a place here, especially if you think about like the percentage of like women in the gaming industry, like physically working in the gaming industry, or how much the percentages of women who play video games, like overall. The number of women playing video games is high in comparison to the number of women working in video games.
Yeah, definitely.
And so for me, growing up, I did have a really hard time with like being picked on and being made fun of for liking things that are like boy related things. And then on top of that, I was also like one of those like emo kids, right?
Oh, really?
So
Yeah.
I had like the like short, spiky hair, lots of black, very angsty. I still listen to all of that music. I just look a little less angsty now.
So do I.
But it was like a thing of like, you know, being picked on and made fun of for.
What do you like listening?
Well, my all-time favorite band is Bayside.
Okay.
I actually have a Bayside tattoo on my leg.
Oh, really?
I've loved that band since they first came out.
Nice.
And every single time they like come to any city I'm living in, I always make sure to like go see them. But yeah, growing up, like liking video games was really like tough. So now I just try to kind of like share that like it's okay to like be nerdy and just be who you are, like love the things that you love. Like it's so important like in this world that we find those pieces of like happiness and those moments of happiness, and if video games brings that to you, like why not? Like don't shy away from it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I think this is very good to hear, and it's very important not only for me to hear, but everybody that is actually hearing. I do believe that as far as I've seen several different researches, the girls are the great majority of the video game.
They're just like there. I think it's like 49%. I think it's 49% of women that play video games.
But you're considering video games console, right?
Nope.
Mobile and in general?
It counts that in too.
Oh, okay. So I think that in Brazil we have like 53 against 47. Yeah. And then maybe the whole market it's a little bit more of boys, but here we have the great majority of girls. So this is why it's very important always to listen to other girls, other women to reach the market and are working in game development. I'm so happy that you came here to talk to me, because every time that I can do that, it's something different. It's something that empower everybody that is here, right? Yeah. So I'm happy to be part of this in a way, like pushing a little bit. Yeah. So working wise, did you work anywhere else, any place else than Xbox, or did you had any sort of? Were you that kind of American that works at flipping burgers first, and then?
I avoided working in the food industry like nobody's business. I did not want to work in the food industry.
Why?
I did not like the smell of it. Like it even happens to me like when I go to malls and stuff, the smell of like frying oil, it like messes with my stomach. I can't do it. But I did work, and like my first job ever was in a grocery store, and then I worked at a ton of retail stores, right?
Oh, really?
The only other like video game stuff that I ever worked in like before Xbox, I worked at GameStop for a winter.
You're kidding me? Really?
I worked at GameStop.
That's a dream job for a lot of people.
Like 3 months.
It's enough for me. I'm good now. I can't do that anymore. There's no GameStop.
So I worked at, and it was a long time ago. I worked at GameStop for a little bit, and then right before I went into working for Xbox, I used to stream on Twitch.
Oh,
so
really?
I would say like 3 months of GameStop, and I streamed on Twitch for like quite a bit, but it was a ton of fun.
Okay, two different things. I'm lost. I have so many questions here that I want to do. First thing first, GameStop. Did you get the era where GameStop was part of ThinkGeek? Or it was before that?
It's before.
Oh.
Yeah. I know.
Because I'm really big fan of the company ThinkGeek. Yeah. And I have like ties of the power tie and all that. So I do believe that this was the great era of GameStop when you could like go there and get cool stuff for games, and also good things for anywhere you can imagine. Yeah. The second thing is about the Twitch. How did that happen?
I just had like, it was like one day, like I woke up and I was just like, I don't have any friends. I want to play video games online. Because, okay, so I started like my Microsoft career in Vegas.
Okay.
And all I knew is that like I wanted to work for Xbox, right? I wanted to work in video games. Like that's where I wanted to be. But I didn't have the college degree. I didn't have the experience. I didn't know anybody. Like I didn't even know what that side of like Microsoft looked like. I had no idea what the Xbox was. Nothing. Just completely. All I knew is like, I'm going to figure out how to get there. Right. So I had started working in like the Microsoft retail stores. And I started learning more and more about, actual like gaming setups and how could I actually like stream stuff. And I started learning a lot of that stuff from like my coworkers in the Microsoft stores. And then in 2017, I was like, okay, I need to make a jump for my career because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to advance it the way I wanted to in Vegas because Vegas is super small. And I knew like, okay, I want to go to like the New York metro market because that seems like where everything is happening. Like that's a popping spot. That's where I want to go.
That makes sense.
So I moved and knew nobody. I left my family. I left my friends. I had to work 2 jobs because it was really tough being on my own. Wow. I didn't have
2 jobs. What were you doing?
I was also doing merchandising at Bath and Body Works. The smell is crazy in there.
Sorry,
like, it's a lot of smell.
What did you say?
I was
Bath.
It's called Bath and Body Works. It's like a lotion, and they have lotions and sprays, like body care stuff.
Yeah.
So it was. I like worked there, like doing like some merchandise stuff because in other retail jobs I had a lot of merchandise experience. But I worked like those 2 jobs and then I was like, I don't have any friends. I don't know anybody. And despite like me being here with you today, I am pretty introverted.
I totally understand. They are different things, right?
Yeah.
One thing is you're an introvert. And you don't feel confident like getting into the middle of a crowd and start talking with everybody. Another thing is like being smart and being able to talk about things that you like. That's the main reason that I'm also an introvert. Because it's really hard for me, especially in the business area. We both know Antonio Guaranis. He's the opposite of
he's the extrovert of extroverts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's the Superman of extroverts. But he can do that. I can't do that. For me, I need to like schedule things and make things happen. But once we start talking, no one can handle that tongue. Right. We start talking and we feel happy about doing that. But we need to break the ice first and be able to like, okay, I'll talk with this person. And there's another type of person. I don't know if you know that for us, there are introverts. You can be an introvert, but not be an introvert 101. And you can be an regular person 101, but you can be an introvert if there's someone else. It's super crazy, but the psychological thing side of this, there is a classification of all of that.
I would say like I'm very like on a personal level, I'm very introverted. But at the same time, I am also like life of the party. Like I, especially like working at Microsoft has definitely helped me come out of that shell a lot and having to do like big presentations and talk in front of a lot of people. And like, I very much like, like, hey, like I know where I want to go in my career and I want to keep pushing for it. And that means that I do have to get a little uncomfortable, and we learn a lot more through becoming uncomfortable in reasonable situations, obviously, but we learn from that space of like uncomfortability, if that's a word.
Now it is.
So I am like, introverted and personal, and that's what made me gravitate more towards like streaming. I was like, okay, so maybe I can meet people who also really like playing video games, but also have the same friend flexibility of what my life was at that time, because I was a lot of work and I had only small pockets of time to be outside of like work mode, right?
Yeah.
So I gravitated towards streaming. I think like my first setup was literally I was streaming through my Xbox with a Kinect camera.
Yeah.
And that was
the Natick.
Yeah, that was like my first like bit of, my first like little like setup that I had. And then I gravitated towards, like I got a PC and I got like all the cards that I needed. And I still tend to
like more PC than console?
No, I'm through console. I was streaming through console.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. So I had, the way my setup was is that I had my PC running everything, but I had my Xbox connected. So I was literally playing on console and streaming through like the PC. And I plan on going back to like streaming very soon. And my setup is still very similar to that of it's like a mixture of things that I play on PC, but I still play a lot of games on console.
As Gricelda was saying, she was the queen of streaming on Twitch. I love the face you did.
I wish.
And how did that happen? You said that you were streaming through Xbox and using your PC to your console, and you were looking for friends. Did you get any friends?
I did. Yeah, I wanted friends, and I don't know how to make them like an adult. Like some people can like go out to like a bar or go out somewhere and like just make friends. And that is not me. Like it makes me like feel weird, and then like in the middle of conversation my brain is thinking like, if I could just back out of this right now, like the little like moonwalk back like the Homer Simpson, like
in the bush.
That would be me.
That would be definitely me.
I made quite a few friends through it. I met my friend like Jacoby. He ended up becoming one of my mods, and he was like really helping me figure out how to use like OBS and how to actually like work Twitch.
One of your mods, help me out here. I have no idea what a mod.
A moderator.
A
moderator.
The thing is that mods here in Brazil means something else.
Oh, okay.
So after this, I promise that I'll tell you what this means, because I can't say this on camera.
Yeah. Moderator.
Yeah,
so he was helping to make sure that my stream was running smoothly and making sure that everything in the chat was appropriate. I definitely had this is like a safe place, safe zone. I will say like I did like curse and stuff a lot more than probably than a normal person. But he just helped to like make sure that like everything was like running smoothly, and he taught me a lot about streaming. So he was really my first friend through it. And then as I was a little bit like later down like the streaming line, I met my friend Nate, and he was like, "Hey, do you need a moderator?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Oh, you want to come play with my friends?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And then I went and played with them. They threw me into a group chat, and I've been friends with these guys ever since. This is back in like 2017.
Wow.
So now they're like
almost 10 years.
Yeah. So now it's like I have like Nate, I have Day, Stan, and Stevie, and they're like brothers to me. Like they're really family at this point. It started out with like, "Hey, let's play PUBG," to like calling them like crying, like, "This is happening in my life right now." Like so it's just
get yourselves together. It's just a game. No, I'm talking about my life.
This is my life, okay? It's not the fact that I keep shooting trees. I can't play shooting games to this day. I can't. I love them.
Yeah,
I love them, but for like, I'll play Call of Duty with my friends, and they're like, they call me Z. My gamer tag and what I go by like on like my streams and stuff like that is Alonzi, nice. Which is a Doctor Who reference. So that's why when I saw your Doctor Who mat out there, I was like, "Oh my gosh, Doctor Who!"
You have no idea how many Doctor Who's things are in this house, and I have a picture dressed as the 14th Doctor.
Oh, really?
Really?
That's so cool. I have a standee of the 10th Doctor, like a life-size cutout of the 10th Doctor in my apartment. Wow. Yeah, I love Doctor Who.
Yeah, so do I.
So they're like, "Z, like he's over there. You gotta get him." And I'm like, Where? And they're like, that's a tree. And I'm like, where is he? Like, yeah, not my strong suit. But yeah, no, I met them. We started playing PUBG together, and then we just never stopped talking to each other. Like, we kind of became like a little family and like a little support group. And I just feel like I went on, Twitch streaming, doing something. I was like, I like playing video games, so maybe like I'll play with other people and like they'll, like it. I have like friends for life, like these guys like mean so much to me, and I honestly have no idea like what I would do without them. And it's so crazy that I found them literally through playing video games. Like, that's the power of video games, right?
Definitely.
It's like there's a big community. Obviously, there's like questionable sides the video game world, but I love the community aspect of it. I love the fact that like you can find your forever, family through it. I just feel super fortunate that I got the opportunity to like have that. And I found that in like these 4 guys who were just like, you cannot play a shooting game to save your life. I can't.
But it's funny because this means that Ready Player One means a lot more for you than I would expect, because they have like that team of the group of people that they never saw each other. Yeah. And I thought that who would do something like that? Because I'm a step back. Mm-hmm. I'm not able to play online games because I only had horrible experiences through my life. Mm-hmm. Because I started playing Dota when it was invented, literally, because Dota wasn't a game that was created. It was sort of invented because it's a mod of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And usually everybody's like, maybe in Brazil, I don't know if this is a worldwide trend, that everybody's like complaining and shouting at you.
Oh, I mean, that can totally happen online. That's why I was saying like not everything is like rainbows and butterflies. I've definitely had my share, especially like a woman playing a video game online. Like, I hop on Call of Duty and, like, forbid I turn my mic on. But I've gotten really good at like just talking right back. Like, I'm not going to be bullied online. That's just not going to happen. But I was fortunate to find like a really good community through it. And like video games really has brought like so much to my life, like more than I could like ever anticipate. And I feel really like fortunate to have like the friends that I do. And I'm also the person that does have a lot of online friends. Like, I have like another group of friends, but we're more of like, we do like a lot more like book reading and lots of like different TV shows, K-dramas. Like, we will watch like a bunch of like different stuff. But like those ladies over there, like, I absolutely adore them. I love them. Like, these like 2 groups of friends that I have that are online, and some who I've still to this day have not met, but I've been friends with them for almost 10 years. Yeah. Like, they mean so much to me, and they are so they're like so important to like who I am, and making sure that like I'm staying true to myself, and also making sure that I'm never giving up on myself, and making sure that like I'm really utilizing like my voice to the best of my capabilities to highlight, things, highlight like what it's like to be a woman in video games, or Black in video games, or Latina in video games, or gay in video games. Like,
you're doing a bingo.
I know. I'm like checking off all of the things.
All the things.
But I just want to make sure,
a person with tattoos in a video game.
I know, tattoos. Right now my hair is normal. Once upon a time, it was like platinum blonde. I've had blue hair, pink hair, green hair. Like, I'm just very much about like making sure that like you're expressing yourself, you're staying true to yourself, and you're remembering to love yourself and all those unique bits of you. Because I think that a lot of times people forget that, and video games can bring so much of that out of you. Like, video games is such an important like form of expression, and I just feel like so happy and like so lucky that I get to be part of that. It's
very impressive. I'm sorry. I kind of choked there because I have the feeling that I went straight to the other side. I'm all trying to fit and the hair, the clothing, everything like.
It's hard. And I get it. You know, I went through it too, of wanting to fit, trying to make myself fit into the bubble of what's appropriate, of what we should be.
Yeah.
And when we do that, we lose who we are. Like, that's the point, is that when you go outside and you look around, everybody is different. Whether they try to fit into a specific bubble or not, we're all different. But it's those different pieces of us that really brings out like who we are. That's what makes us shine, and that's what makes us unique in who we are. It's important to remember that. So it's like, for me, I will, get a new tattoo, and my grandma will be like, "Ay, mija, you're ruining your body," But it's a form of self-expression. It tells a story of who I am. It tells a story of the things that I love, the things that are important to me. Some of my tattoos are really stupid. They have no meaning whatsoever. I just thought it was pretty. Yeah. But it's me. And it's so important for us to remember that. And I tell my sisters this all the time, even though sometimes they feel like, oh, we're odd, we don't fit in the bubble. Fitting in the bubble is not the point. Yeah. We are not like born on this earth to fit in the bubble. We are born to be our unique selves. Otherwise, we would have very strict rules of what we need to be and what we need to not be. So just like, if like anything that you like take away from like what I say today, like just leave today and just be you. Be loudly you. Be weird. Be colorful. Be the person that you would love to have in your life. Like, if I had a big sister, I would want a big sister like me. And that's like what I try to do.
I would like to have you as a big sister for sure.
That's what I like. That's what I try to do. And even in like my work messages or just talking to people like one-on-one, any of my mentees, I always tell them like this side of you that you think is too much, like, is what makes you like different and what makes you stand out. Embrace that side and just shine. Like, that's it.
It's harder than it looks as far as I can see, but it's a great message, and I'm really happy that I was able to hear from you. And I'm very happy that you were here.
Thank you.
It got me a little bit emotional, but again, as I said, it looks like I went through the other direction. So that said, is there anything that you would recommend for someone that wants to get to the industry and be like Gricelda, be powerful, be this amazing woman that I just really met in a way, because we talked a lot through those years. We've met like a few times here in São Paulo, in US. I think just that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what would you recommend?
Yeah. I would say it's going to go right back into like just kind of like being you. I'm not born into like the video game industry. I didn't go to school for video games. I never worked with a publishing studio or a developing studio. I can't even draw a stick figure. Don't ask me to code. That's crazy. I took kind of like, I have like a little like OCD or like this hyperfixation thing. And I took those things and turned them like into kind of like my strengths, became incredibly business savvy. I became a person who was a subject matter expert in Microsoft operations, processes, and cloud. And I built new skills all the time to try to get like to that video game space. It was a long time. I held a lot of jobs under Microsoft. A lot of jobs that had like nothing to do with like video games, but I always kept like video games in my forefront. I just knew like that's where I want to get, and I will build out like whatever like skill set it takes for me to like get there. Nice. So I'm in video games in business angle. right? I cannot develop, I cannot code. Like these are just not my strong suits. But I can like program and project manage like nobody's business. I'm really good at taking really big, complex solutions and simplifying them into pieces that people can easily consume, right?
Awesome.
I understand, like I can see the big picture, and then I can see like the little
Tiny
like
bits
each bit that kind of like gets up to like that big picture, and understanding how we teach everyone like, hey, this is how we do this. Like we get everyone into like this big bubble, which is a lot of like what I do like in my everyday job, right? I do a run of business for like ID at Xbox. I'm also like in operations for the All Up Xbox org. And then I also take care of Latin America and making sure that, you know, like, hey, we're like looking for really cool things, but we're also making sure that the developers have the information that they need to be as successful as they possibly can.
Yeah.
And figuring out like all of those little pieces, like that's something that I really enjoy doing. Not many people say this, but when it comes to like building out new operations and processes, like that stuff is fun to me. It's like a puzzle. Like you have all the pieces all everywhere, and you like my brain is like, okay, we're gonna put here, you know, and I really find enjoyment in that. And I really find enjoyment in working with all of the developers that I get to. But again, if you asked me to build a game, I couldn't do it, right?
No, I totally understand.
So I would say like find like that thing that you really like to do, and then find like, and if you're like, okay, I am really good at operations and processes, but I want to work in video games, like figuring out what that path looks like. All like developing studios and all like publishing studios need people to help run the business.
Sure.
So maybe that's your angle. If you are great at drawing, which I'm not, if you are great at drawing, like go into like that angle. It's more about like just figuring out like what is like my true strength and what am I passionate about. And if you're like, I want to get into video games and I know I'm passionate about these things, figure out how to plug those two things together. And then to your other part of like, how do you get to be like
the Gricelda?
Yeah. It wasn't an overnight thing.
That's important.
Yeah.
That's what we've been doing here.
Yeah.
Like
it's not
showcasing that it's not an overnight thing.
Yeah.
It's
never an overnight thing. It's taken me a long time to like build the confidence, and still to this day, I am so nervous doing certain things.
Really?
Yeah. Tomorrow we have this really big learning day that I'm bringing to Gamescom Latam.
Nice.
And presenting in front of 300 plus people. I'm still I'm still really nervous about it. And it took me a long time to accept who I am and like fully like just embrace it. It's so hard to be something that you're not.
Sure.
It's a lot easier to be who you are, but continuously like challenge yourself and figuring out like, hey, like, I'm really uncomfortable with like public speaking. So it's kind of like, how do you overcome that? How do you get out of that bubble so that if you know, one day you're like, I want to be a CEO, you got to figure out the public speaking part, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's definitely not like an overnight thing. I definitely sometimes find myself in spaces where I'm like, oh my gosh, am I good enough to be here? Even though like I've accomplished so much, there's so much more I want to accomplish. There's so much more I want to continue to like learn. I want to continue to grow, and I want to continue to figure out like, how do I use my voice to make sure or encourage people to just like live your true selves, like live loud, live beautiful, live with passion, pursue your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something. And no matter how many times you hear no, like don't let that be the thing that stops you from pursuing, you know, that career dream or whatever like that life goal is. Like it's so important to push, be yourself and just like be happy, like find that like happiness or find even a pocket of happiness in life, because it's really short.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that you make the absolute best out of it.
Amazing. Yeah. I would clap if but I don't think it would be the best thing for everybody that is listening, for the audio. One last thing, whoever wants to keep talking to you, finding you, will they watch you on the Twitch? Is there at Gricelda on Instagram or anything like that?
Yeah, my Twitch and Instagram, it's all under my gamer tag, which is AllonsZe, which is ALLONSZE.
Okay.
So you're able to find me like on Instagram there, and you're able to find me on Twitch. I do not remember what my Blue Sky account name is,
but we'll figure it.
We'll plug that one in later.
You'll find this on screen whenever she's saying this. No need to worry about it. And we'll be linked there.
Of course, I have LinkedIn as well under Gricelda Hernandes.
Yeah, obviously. Yes. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for being here and watching this whole show. It was amazing to have you here. Looking forward to see you again on the next Chips podcast.
Rede Geek.